This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
All of a sudden, we got owners that don't come and tell me nothing, and they raise our rent, and everybody's hollering about it.
Residents of a Brownsburg senior community say a drastic rent increase is pricing them out of their homes. But the new owners say recent improvements are supposed to be helpful.
Plus, 2 new initiatives are designed to give people living on the east side of Indianapolis better access to fresh and healthy food. How those programs work and the stores participating on this crackdown on food deserts. It's 5 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is with us this morning. Todd, we know more schools are going back today. Wayne Township, Clark Pleasant, and they have a nice first day of school.
Right? This makes it even harder to sit in the classroom, right? When you're looking out the door and you see the sunshine and you know it's a very comfortable day, and that's what we have in store for you. Yesterday evening, if you were out, you noticed the humidity drop as the evening went on, and it continues to drop here this morning. And by this afternoon, it is going to be extremely comfortable. 67 degrees. That's the current temperature officially in Indianapolis and all across central Indiana this morning. We're talking about temperatures that range from 60 in Peru, where that cooler air is really settling in, to still 67 in Bloomington, 70 right now in Bedford. But it's cloud-free out there this morning. Just maybe a few clouds lingering on the eastern side of the state. And that is just about it. Today starts a great stretch of weather that's going to take us not only through today, but throughout the remainder of the week and into the weekend. So nothing but sunshine today. 77 by the noon hour with a seasonable high temperature of 83 degrees. The time now is 5:01. Let's get a look at the traffic on this Wednesday morning.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Want to remind you about these closures. The main one, you've been dealing with this all week so far. Eastbound and westbound I-70 closed between the South Split downtown and I-465 on the west side. Use I-65 and I-465 around the south as your detour. To our northeast, another closure to tell you about. Westbound and eastbound lanes of US 36 closed for construction between State Road 234 and State Road 9. You can hop up there to I-69 as your detour throughout the duration of that project. But let's take a look at I-69. A heads up if you're traveling through the Pendleton area, this is what you're going to see. If you're traveling in both directions, we have construction, but especially right here on the bottom of your screen, you can see that you're in the right lane, so you have to do this traffic shift over to the left. So you'll need to go really slow through that area. We'll continue to monitor this for any delays or crashes, and of course, we'll keep you updated.
Breaking overnight, one person is in custody following a police chase. We caught everything on our INDOT traffic cameras. This all started on the city's east side near I-465 and I-70. The chase then snaked through downtown and even an I-65 construction zone. Everything ended when the driver crashed on I-465 near the 71st, 73rd Street exit. No word this morning on why the driver was running from police.
And also new this morning, Metro Police are investigating a deadly shooting on the city's east side. This happened just after 11 o'clock in the 3100 block of Manor Court. Emergency crews took a man to the hospital in critical condition, but he later died from those injuries. If you have any information about this shooting, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS.
At 5:03, tensions are running high at a Brownsburg retirement community over a potential rent hike. So we took residents' concerns to management. Our Aaron Lish is working for you this morning live at Club Manor. Aaron, why are prices about to go up for these seniors?
Well, those prices are going up because those managers and owners say that this change is because this is going to become a one-stop shop for senior living communities. They actually sat down with those residents yesterday for a meet and greet, and they wanted to break down exactly why those prices would be going up. And they said that it'd be because of new transportation and quality meals for those communities. So the executive director, Marcy Seal, tells us they are planning on honoring any current leasing rates, but they will need to raise those rates at some point to pay for those planned upgrades. Seal says this is very comparable to other independent living facilities in the area, and they're not kicking anyone out, but some say they don't really have a choice but to leave.
Well, mine's $699. They raised it to $1,020, and I don't make $1,020. I make $800. I get $800, so I give them the $7, and I got $100 left out of my check to live on. And then they raise it. I can't afford it.
Management says if needed, they will have to help those residents find another place to live if they can't afford Club Manor. We're also being told that they are not a licensed healthcare facility, so they are not able to accept any Medicaid vouchers. Back to you in the studio, Lauren.
Aaron, thank you so much. It is 5:05 on your Wednesday, and today Washington Township Schools will cut the ribbon on a new elementary school, Willow Lake on Harcourt Road. The ribbon cutting comes one day after a grand opening for Clearwater Elementary on East 79th Street. Both buildings include safety and technology upgrades. The superintendent says it has been a long road to get to this moment.
This was a brainchild and a seed idea about 4.5 years ago. So 4.5 years ago, through a community support, through a public referendum in November 2016, through 2 years of construction, to this ribbon cutting is a very exciting time for the Washington Township community.
Today's ribbon cutting is set for 5 o'clock. Both schools will open to students on Thursday, the first day of classes.
Changing traffic patterns and changing traffic rules in downtown Indianapolis. New bike lanes are now open on Illinois Street. They're part of ongoing changes as Indigo prepares to open its new Red Line route. Indigo says a bike lane had to be removed from Capitol Avenue going south, so a bike lane was added to Illinois. Now there are 2 bike lanes going in 2 directions. That leaves 1 fewer lane for drivers to park on Illinois. The new bike lanes come with poles meant to protect people on bicycles from car traffic, which is welcome news to people like Karen, a New Yorker turned Hoosier and avid bicyclist.
I gave my car away because I have access to bike lanes, I have access to the buses, and I think it's marvelous that they're really specializing a special place for us cyclists. I really appreciate that.
You need to pay attention if you're heading downtown. Parking in the bike lane can earn drivers a ticket. For a walkthrough on these latest changes, check out this story at theindychannel.com.
At 5:06, people who live in food deserts on the east side of Indianapolis are getting some help. One program is bringing fresh food to them, and another is taking fresh food. Lyft is moving forward with its grocery access program. People will be able to take $2 Lyft rides to and from 6 grocery stores on this map. Mount Carmel Baptist Church will manage the program and identify the qualified families. And a program will help 5 stores also on the east side stock affordable and healthy food options. This is a partnership between local groups, the Anthem Foundation, and the national organization called the Food Trust.
When you don't have the ability to get groceries at all, much less healthy groceries that your doctor wants you to eat or that you're trying to eat to better your own health or your children's health, it's incredibly painful and stressful way to live.
The stores include A&I Variety Meats and Produce on 38th Street, Marathon 1 on 38th Street, Marathon 2 on Post Road, and Tienda Morelos on Pendleton Pike.
Later today, superheroes will join in the celebration of life of a young Delaware County boy who lost his battle with brain cancer. You may recall we shared 8-year-old Christian Doherty's story with you back in April. That's when Batman surprised Christian at Albany Elementary School. The Cape Crusader had lunch with Christian and another student who is battling leukemia. Christian passed away on Friday at Riley Hospital for Children. He loved superheroes, and tomorrow they will help celebrate his life to say goodbye. His funeral will be at the Horizon Convention Center in Muncie at 3. I need to correct myself. That is actually happening today. Visitation is prior to the service from 11 to 3. Christian's dad says the plan is for superheroes to serve as pallbearers, and Batman in the Batmobile will lead the way to the cemetery in Albany. We have all this information on theindychannel.com.
At 5:08, we're learning more about the 13-year-old girl who was shot and killed at the Gilroy Garlic Festival out in California over the weekend. 13-year-old Kayla Salazar's family says that when the gunfire broke out, she stayed to help her stepfather's mother, who uses a cane. Kayla's family and friends gathered yesterday to celebrate in her memory. Her uncle says it's not surprising that she died while trying to protect her family.
She was that kind of person that you would think is actually an angel, because everything she did, she was not for her, it was for everyone else. She tried to make everyone happy but herself.
A vigil was also held in Kayla's school in San Jose. Her family says that she was loved by her staff members and fellow students.
A Seattle woman is accused of hacking into Capital One and stealing personal information from millions of customers. And one of her roommates says she did it because she could. Paige Thompson has a hearing today in federal court. Her roommate shared this surveillance video of the moment the FBI raided their home looking for Thompson. The Department of Justice complaint says she announced on social media she was in possession of credit card application information, including names and social security numbers from Capital One. She's accused of downloading the information from servers belonging to Amazon Web Services, a company she used to work for.
She's not somebody that would do something like that maliciously. She's not somebody that would take the data and like try to sell it or something like that.
The federal complaint says Thompson did not intend to distribute that stolen data. Officials have not indicated whether any of the information of millions of Capital One customers has been found on the dark web. Thompson could face up to 5 years in prison if convicted. It is 10 after 5 on your Wednesday morning. A beautiful day ahead of us, Todd.
Yeah, today we start a beautiful stretch of weather that is going to last not only today, not only tomorrow, but really as we head into opening weekend of the Indiana State Fair. I don't think they could ask for better weather with low humidity and lots of sunshine. More on that coming up. But let's get you out the door first on this Wednesday morning. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s here throughout the 6 to 8 o'clock hour with mostly sunny skies. And you can see satellite radar picture, clear skies all across the state. That means nothing but sunshine for you here throughout the entire day today. And here's where your high temperatures are going, anywhere from about 80 to 83 degrees across the area. Our normal high, 84 degrees. So we are going to be just on par, just a little bit below normal today. But with the low humidity and the sunshine, you won't notice the difference. Get out there and enjoy. We'll talk more about your extended forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thanks. Coming up, a grand tradition at Colts training camp as generations of families coming out to celebrate the team. Let's take a live look at construction crews working hard on I-70. It's closed both eastbound and westbound between the downtown area and I-465. We'll keep an eye on that detour route. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Weekdays at 9 on RTV6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana, 5:14 on your Wednesday. This is a live look to the north, I-465 and US 31 Meridian Street. You can see traffic in this area still pretty quiet at this early hour. No crashes here on the north side.
Colts quarterback Andrew Luck is set to miss a few training camp practices as he recovers from a strained calf. But he says he'll be ready for week 1 of the season. Today is back to school day at training camp. Kids can get a meal deal and the first 500 get a free Colts arm sleeve. But as sports director Dave First shows you, Tuesday's training camp was geared towards a much older crowd.
On the field, the calendar says it's Tuesday, but for those watching, well, the Colts put the grand into the grandstands, hosting Grandparents' Day. All good for Wynn Shelton.
It is cool, and I appreciate my kids and grandchildren that appreciate me enough to bring me out here today.
That's pretty cool. Where are they, though? They all took off on you?
They went to
the concession stand.
Yeah, they went to the concession stand.
The Moores brought their grandsons. In fact, it's for the 2nd straight year.
When we came out last year, we didn't have the Colts interactive area.
Yeah, that's right.
We didn't have all the concession stands. It's just, they really did a nice job.
Bryce Tressler agrees. He brought his grandson, Nicholas, from New Pal.
You hope your grandmother's watching?
Yeah.
Well, is she watching the 11 o'clock news on Channel 6?
Yeah, she probably is.
Okay, then she just saw you.
Call it a packed grandstand with grandsons and granddaughters alike.
What's the best thing about being a grandparent?
Enjoying them, filling them up for sugar, and sending them home.
And Gene Moore's grandson sees it coming.
What did you get at the concession stand?
Sour Pops.
Sour Pops. Uh-huh. How's that going to go over when you go back home?
Meanwhile, Wynn's grandkids are back.
We got blueberry muffin.
Yes.
Yes. We got lemonade.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my name is Grace. Grace.
And all hoping this upcoming season is full of grace.
You got a prediction for the team?
Yeah, Super Bowl. I think Super Bowl all the way.
What's happened to Andrew? Why isn't he here?
We're kind of wondering that too.
Yeah, they got him. They'll make the playoffs.
I think the team would pull together, God forbid, nothing happens to them.
I think they're going to definitely make the playoffs. I think they'll win the South.
But whatever happens this fall, this day was a win as well. Because when it's all said and done, It's about
the love that they show you. They appreciate the grandparents. I don't know what it is about that, but it's an awesome type of love, and we love them just as much.
All right, thank you, Dave. And they've enjoyed beautiful weather up there in Westfield, really for the entire training camp, and that is going to continue in the days ahead. So today's headlines: sunny skies and mild temperatures. Our normal high is 84 degrees. We'll probably be just a couple degrees below that as we work our way throughout the afternoon hours in most of central Indiana, with highs eventually probably in the low 80s. So here's a live look on a Monument Circle here this morning. A much more pleasant morning. We don't have the clouds like we had yesterday morning. We don't have as much in the way of humidity out there, and we've kicked in this north wind, and you're going to notice that north wind throughout the course of the day today. Not so much for the wind speed, because that's not going to be all that strong, only about 10 miles per hour, but that northerly wind direction will keep the humidity down throughout the course of the day today, and that's going to result in dew points that will be in the 50s, and anytime dew points are in the 50s, you are in tip-top shape. So it's a comfortable stretch of weather with seasonable temperatures, so really nothing to complain about on this last day of July. Hard to believe here that we are going to be starting the month of August tomorrow. So skies are clear. That front that brought us the rain on Monday is now well off to the east. It was still close enough yesterday to pop up a few isolated downpours across parts of the area, but that front now far enough away that will keep it completely dry throughout the course of the day today, as you can see there on TrueCast. So here's how it breaks down for you hour by hour. Sunny skies, 74 degrees by 11 a.m., pushing 79 degrees by 2 p.m. And then your high temperature this afternoon eventually gets up to 83 degrees, but that north wind and the low humidity will probably make that actually feel even a little bit cooler, but a very, very nice day. This evening, if you have plans, check this out. 8:59, sunset now before 9 o'clock in the evening hours. Clear skies, temperatures falling into the 70s, and as you wake up tomorrow morning, temperatures will be in the upper 50s to the north, low 60s from Indianapolis to the south. And as we look at your forecast for tomorrow, it's another good one. Mostly sunny skies. The humidity is still fairly low tomorrow. Temperatures maybe a degree or two warmer, and that's the one trend you'll notice in your 7-day planning forecast is your high temperatures will start to moderate a degree or two each and every day, and eventually by Sunday we're up to 87 degrees, but we really don't build in a whole lot in the way of humidity over the course of the weekend. So Friday, the Indiana State Fair opens. It's RTV 6-day. Come see us. It's a great start to the fair, and that opening weekend and even into next week looks good with sunshine and temperatures that'll be in the mid to upper 80s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Now we are following some breaking traffic news right now in the downtown area. You can see here crews are at the scene of this deadly crash. This is right out in front of Eli Lilly, a familiar landmark here in the Circle City near Delaware and McCarty. Now, this is a live look from our photographer there. We're told that the car was heading eastbound on McCarty when it went through the light in that area. The car went into the Eli Lilly parking lot, hit a pole, flipped over, and then caught fire. The driver died in the fire, and police are still working to determine the make and model of that vehicle as well as the identity of the victim. Of course, we're going to be checking in with crews at the scene, bringing you any updates as soon as we learn them. But right now, let's take a look at our Traffic Now map here in the downtown area. Again, this is where the deadly crash took place, Delaware and McCarty there in the Eli Lilly parking lot. So the good news, if you are driving through this area to get to work, it is in the parking lot, so you should still be able to take Delaware Street and McCarty Street. But again, we'll keep you updated.
Still ahead, high expectations for first dates and increasing student debt. You might be surprised to learn how many millennials say they can't afford to date.
And remember, Good Morning Indiana will be live from the Indiana State Fair on Friday. That's the fair's opening day and RTV 6-day at the State Fair. From llamas to bees to popcorn, we're going to show you some of the unsung heroes of the Heartland. It's 5:21. We'll be right back.
Visit IndianaStateFair.com.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We are monitoring this breaking news outside of the Eli Lilly headquarters downtown. One person has died in a fiery crash here after going through this light at the intersection, hitting a pole, flipping over, and catching fire. Right now, crews are at the scene working to figure out how this happened and more information about the victim. Of course, we'll keep you updated. We can tell you that this is in the parking lot, so it shouldn't have too much of an impact on your downtown morning commute. We'll keep you updated. At 5:25, though, today is for the dogs. It's National Mutt Day. According to the National Day calendar, pet experts found that this unofficial holiday in 2005 is to encourage Americans to celebrate mixed breed dogs. You can expect to see a ton of people sharing pictures of their mutts on social media today. According to the ASPCA, more than 3 million dogs enter shelters every year with the hope of finding a forever home, and many of those dogs are mutts, like my little Molly.
Yeah, look at those cute little pups.
They are cute,
darling. The Beatles famously said, "Can't buy me love," and it turns out that is becoming a modern day dilemma for some millennials.
Yeah, that's according to a new study by the dating site Match. It says 30% of millennials feel their financial situation is holding them back from pursuing a relationship.
That's partly because many of them are fighting an uphill battle financially, dealing with student debt and the rising living costs. But in addition to that, some experts told USA Today courting rituals have changed and first dates have become more elaborate and potentially expensive. Interesting. What do you think about that, Todd?
I don't know. I'm not a millennial.
He's too old.
But it is expensive. It is expensive, I'll say that much.
I guess you can always offer to pay for yourself.
You know, you used to be able to go to the movies and get popcorn for like
$2.
Yeah, whatever.
Not $20.
Now it costs you like $50. So I get it. All right. Beautiful stretch of weather, though. Maybe take your day outside. A lot cheaper. Go on a walk or something here this afternoon or the next few days, because we'll have lots of sunshine, low humidity. You see the temperature trend. It does get a little bit warmer as we get into the weekend. But overall, a beautiful stretch of weather here as we round out the month of July and start the month of August tomorrow.
Still ahead on Good Morning Indiana, rapper Cardi B has a message for her fans after the last-minute cancellation of her Indianapolis concert.
And a child psychologist has some tips to make the first day of school easier on you and your student. But first, a live look here downtown, I-65 and I-70 at the North Split, where traffic is picking up. We'll keep an eye on it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
RTV6 is working for you.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
And it is 5:30 here on our Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Another beautiful day ahead of us. Todd Clausen is standing by with a check at our forecast. Todd, you got an easy gig this week.
Yeah, you know, ever since we had that big heat wave 2 weekends ago where we had those triple-digit heat index values, we really settled into a pretty nice weather pattern here. It's around out the month of July, and that continues today on this July 31st. Grab the sunglasses as you walk out the door this morning. You'll need those from start to finish. You do not need the rain gear, and you can drink plenty of water. That's always a good thing to do here to stay hydrated, because you will work up a sweat. With temperatures in the 80s later on this afternoon. 60 right now in Peru, 67 in Bloomington. So still a little warmer in southern locations, but to the north, Logansport, you have now dipped down into the upper 50s. So we're still really in the process of ushering in this more comfortable air mass, one that is less humid and also a little bit cooler than what we've seen. So skies are mainly clear all across the area as these storms will stay off to our west. That front that went through the other day is now continuing to slowly move off towards the east. So enjoy today. It's a sun-filled day from start to finish. 77 degrees by the noon hour, and then high temperatures eventually this afternoon will be topping off in the low 80s. Lauren?
We are following breaking news right now. Downtown crews are on the scene of a deadly crash in front of Eli Lilly. This is a live look at that scene. We're told the car was headed eastbound on McCarty. When it went through the light, the car went into the parking lot of Eli Lilly, hit a pole, flipped over, then caught fire. The driver died in that fire. Police are still working to determine the make and model of the car, as well as the identity of the victim. We will bring you any updates as soon as we learn them.
And also breaking overnight, one person is in custody following this police chase. We caught everything on our INDOT traffic cameras. This all started on the city's east side near I-465 and I-70. Well, the chase snaked through downtown and even on an I-65 construction zone. Everything ended when the driver crashed on I-465 near 71st Street and 73rd Street exit. No word this morning on why this driver was running from police.
Also new this morning, Metro Police are investigating a deadly shooting on the city's east side. It happened just after 11 in the 3100 block of Manor Court. Emergency crews took a man to the hospital in critical condition, but he later died from his injuries. If you have any information about this shooting, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. Things are getting heated at a Brownsburg retirement community, with management saying rent will be going up. Working for you, our Aaron Lish is live at Club Manor. Aaron, why is this happening to residents all of a sudden now?
Well, you know, you've probably seen this before. When you see new management and new owners come in, things change, and that's what's happening here at Club Manor. So the new group that's coming is Core Management. They are taking over. They actually had a meet and greet yesterday with those residents, and in that time, we actually talked to the executive director about why these prices will go up for their rent, and they're saying that's the reason because of their amenities like the transportation and high-quality meals that they will start providing. But right now, they will honor any current leasing rates, but eventually those will go up for all those upgrades. So with this news, residents certainly aren't happy, so we listened to their concerns.
I'm going to have to leave. What else am I going to do?
Do you know where you will go?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Money.
I'm just shocked.
It wasn't good because they're trying to say they're doing it for us and everything, and they haven't done anything since they've been here. All they've done is raise our rent.
So even if someone has Medicaid vouchers, those won't be accepted here because management says they are not a licensed healthcare facility. With those concerns, the executive director says they will help out anyone who might have some issues with this new rate, and they will help try to find them a new place to live. Back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. Cardi B is apologizing to Indianapolis fans after abruptly canceling last night's concert. IMPD says that an unverified threat led to this cancellation. In a tweet, the rapper said she was at Bankers Life Fieldhouse rehearsing a new move that she planned to perform during the show when she found out. The concert has been rescheduled for September 11th. The threat is under investigation at this time.
Another deadly interstate crash in a construction zone caused by a driver who did not slow down while approaching stop traffic. That's according to Indiana State Police. Investigators say a van crashed into a stopped semi-tractor trailer on I-70 near the State Road 267 exit in Hendricks County just after 2 yesterday afternoon. 2 people in the van died. A crash in a construction zone on I-465 killed a mother and her 18-month-old twins earlier this month. Police say in that case, a semi-driver slammed into stop traffic on the highway near the Keystone exit. That crash also injured 7 people.
It's 5:35. A man fighting to run for mayor of Indianapolis as an independent candidate says he's not giving up that fight. John Schmitz did not have enough signatures to get on the November ballot after many were invalidated. Schmitz appealed many of those signatures on Tuesday, but the Marion County Election Board unanimously rejected his appeal. Schmitz says he will not stop appealing until he is on the ballot.
Families in Hancock County have new school supplies, car seats, and fresh food and more this morning, all thanks to a community event. The Hancock County Fairgrounds hosted an annual community night last night. Police officers, firefighters, and workers with other county services met neighbors and answered questions. There were also free giveaways and fun for the entire family.
Got a lot of candy, and I got on 2 bouncy houses. The one over there, I bounced on so much, and I also tried to do the splits, like, whee!
First responders also inspected car seats and gave safety and educational demonstrations. Looks like a fun night.
Oh, yeah. Well, here at 536, RTV6 is working for you, helping you to get your child prepared for that first day of class. This morning, a local child psychologist wants to prepare you and your child for that first experience at school. Dr. Ann Lagus with Riley Children's Health says that every kindergarten will have some sort of event where you can bring your child to meet the teacher, see the classroom, and meet those other students. Parents should take full advantage of that opportunity to get your kid comfortable with going to school. Here are the top 3 things you can do to get your child ready for kindergarten.
Definitely go visit the classroom, meet the teacher. The other thing too is for parents to start really talking up school, especially if kids haven't been before, to talk about this is going to be fun, you're going to learn new things, you're going to make new friends. And then the third most important thing is the day of, first day, drop the kids off, smile, say goodbye, get out of there, cry in the car if you have to cry.
Well, Dr. Lagus says that a routine will help with the kindergartners figure out the time that your child should be in bed, what time they need to be up, and what they need to do to get ready for school, and do those same things each day. And Todd, as the kids are heading out to the bus stop, maybe getting dropped off for that first day of school in a few districts around our area, they have a really nice day of weather that they're missing out on if they're inside.
They are. They're going to be inside waiting to go out for recess. Then once they go outside for recess, they're not going to want to go back inside. Really, it is a beautiful day. We're going to rate it out of 9 here. here on our scale of 10. The only reason I didn't push it all the way to 10 is there's a little bit of a breeze today, but that breeze is actually going to decrease the humidity, so it's going to be a little more unsettled as we work our way into the course, or a little more comfortable, I should say, as we work our way into the afternoon hours. So today, 77 degrees by the noon hour, 83 degrees will be your 4 p.m. temperature. Should be absolutely beautiful out there. And then this evening, if you do have plans, the Blues Traveler tonight out at White River State Park there on the lawn. Should be a perfect night for the concert. Temperatures at 79 degrees at 6 p.m. The concert actually starts with the opening acts this evening at 5:30, a little bit of an earlier start. And then as the evening progresses, we fall back down into the 70s. Should be absolutely beautiful. We'll talk more about your extended forecast and look ahead to the weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. The second round of Democratic presidential debates continues tonight. Just after the break, we'll preview night 2, and we're going to take a look at night 1's big talkers.
Plus, store brands are supposed to save you money. We are working for you this morning on why that's not always the case.
It is 5:38. Let's take a live look at traffic here. I-69 at Cumberland Road. You can see traffic is moving along up the speed, really, both directions, northbound and southbound. Be careful of that construction and the lane shifts in the Pendleton area this morning. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any crashes or delays in your morning drive, and we'll keep you updated on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
About Chantix.
Welcome back. We are staying on top of this deadly crash inside the Eli Lilly parking lot. A car went through the intersection there at McCarty Street downtown. It hit a pole, flipped over, and then caught fire. The driver dead. We don't know much other information about why this happened at this time, but of course, this is a live look at the scene, and we're going to keep you updated as investigators learn more.
Tonight, 10 more Democrats will take this stage in Detroit for the second half of the second Democratic presidential debate.
As Trevor Ault reports, night 1 featured frequent sparring over the progressive plans of Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders.
Night 1 of the Democratic debates in Detroit highlighting the internal struggle for the direction of the party, with moderate candidates challenging progressive leaders.
Is with bad policies like Medicare for all, free everything, and impossible promises that'll turn off independent voters and get Trump reelected.
Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, both with similar agendas and the highest poll numbers of the candidates on stage, not backing away from their ambitious ideas.
I don't understand why anybody goes to all the trouble of running for president of the United States just to talk about what we really can't do and shouldn't fight for.
Dominating much of the debate, health care, particularly Senator Sanders' Medicare for All plan.
For senior citizens, it will finally include dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses.
But you don't know.
Second of all,
you don't know that,
second
Bernie.
of all,
We'll come to you in a second,
I do know, and I wrote the damn bill.
But amidst all the sparring, the candidates never straying far from a central idea, the importance of getting President Trump out of office.
We are as divided and polarized as a country as we have ever been. And right now we have a president who uses fear to try to drive us further apart.
The thing you will be remembered for is whether in this moment with this president you found the courage to stand up to him or you continue to put party over country.
The second half of the debate pairs up two candidates who sparred in the first debate, Senator Kamala Harris and former Vice President Joe Biden. He is the significant frontrunner right now, but his name didn't come up at all in night 1. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Detroit.
Florida officials say they are investigating their 6th shark bite incident in New Smyrna Beach this year. They say a shark bit a surfer Monday. The 18-year-old was injured on his hand. According to beach safety officials, the surfer did not see the shark. Officials say his hand did need medical attention, but the surfer refused to be transported to the hospital.
He was bleeding quite a lot from the hand, and he was calm. He walked up to the lifeguard tower and very, very calm about it all. He was bleeding quite a lot, though, and I could tell that the injury to the top of his hand was, fairly severe.
The surfer is the second person to be bitten by a shark in the area since Saturday. Officials say a shark bit a man on the leg while he was boogie boarding. It is 5:45 right now on your Wednesday morning. Todd, a check of the forecast.
And it's a good forecast going forward. We've lowered the humidity here across central Indiana. That process started yesterday afternoon into the evening hours. If you went out during the evening, you certainly felt that. We have a nice sunny stretch of weather that we will have in place not only today, but in the coming coming days as well. As August arrives tomorrow, it's going to come in with seasonal temperatures and lots of sunshine across the area. Live look at Monument Circle here this morning, where we have quiet conditions. Not much going on down there right now. Temperatures range from 67 in Indy as well as Bloomington. A little cooler to the north at 62 in Kokomo, and Muncie sitting at 64 degrees. And here's the big picture. We'll add on a few more towns and neighborhoods to the map here for you. 59 in Crawfordsville. So once again, that cooler pocket of air that we've seen many times the past few mornings in place from Lafayette to Greencastle. 64 is the current temperature as you make your way over into the Richmond area. So skies are clear across the area. There's just a few lingering clouds on the far eastern side of the state, and that is just about it on this Wednesday morning. And high pressure will build in and give us nice quiet conditions here throughout the day. Today we have a north wind, so that's the direction the wind is coming from, and that is going to keep the humidity down as well. And we are just going to see mostly sunny skies with just a few fair weather clouds building in at times here in the coming days. So here's how it breaks down for you hour by hour. Your noontime temperature 76 degrees with skies that'll be mostly sunny across the area. Then by 6 p.m. we're looking at a temperature of 82 degrees. Get outside and just enjoy this weather while you can. And as we work our way into the evening hours, if you have plans, you are just fine. Although I will point out sunset now before 9 p.m. this evening at 8:59. By 10 p.m. the temperature's down to 72 degrees. Tomorrow morning you wake up to temperatures in the 50s to the north, about 62 in Indianapolis. So a little bit cooler tomorrow morning. It's probably one of these overnight periods where you can give the air conditioner a little bit of a break and just open up the window and maybe use a fan. And then as we look ahead to tomorrow's forecast, it's a day very similar to today. The only difference is about a degree or two warmer for your high temperature, getting up to 84 degrees. And then as we expand things out, looking ahead to the weekend, right? Never too early to look ahead to the weekend. And we'll continue with that theme of warming it up a degree each and every day. Saturday, 86 degrees. Sunday, up to 87 degrees. But the temperatures come up doesn't necessarily mean the humidity comes up. You'll notice it a little bit, but we're not talking about a super humid or oppressive weekend ahead for us weather-wise. So enjoy it. The State Fair opens on Friday. Head out there. It's RTV6 day as well. Then Monday and Tuesday of next week, temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, but with still skies that'll be partly to mostly sunny.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Again, we have this deadly crash in the Eli Lilly parking lot at Delaware and McCarty Street. Looks like that's contained into the parking lot, though, so it should not impact your drive there on either of those roads. A reminder for drivers heading to and from downtown, I-70 is not an option until August 5th. You'll have to take I-465 and I-65 as detours for that construction project. And a construction project closing US 36 here between State Road 234 and State Road 9. You can take I-69 as a detour if you normally head through this area. But let's take a look right now down on the south side where traffic is moving smoothly. I-465 near Madison Avenue. No crashes or delays in this area to slow you down.
Grocery shopping can be expensive. Now more stores are launching their own brands to cut down on costs. Even stores on the pricier side are offering generic brands. Whole Foods launched its $3.65 everyday brand in the 90s. Kroger doubled the number of generic brand products since 2005. According to the Wall Street Journal, Walmart has been improving the quality of its own brand products. But buying store brands may not always save you the most money.
Sometimes they're partnering with those name brands and they're at rock bottom prices. For example, around 4th of July, I got Heinz ketchup, a 30-ounce bottle. And by the time I matched their sale with their digital coupon, I ended up spending 60 cents a bottle for a 31-ounce bottle of Heinz ketchup.
Consumer Reports compared store brands to brand name products. Things like store brand nuts, condiments, whole grain pasta, and spices were just as good as brand name in terms of quality. The Indiana State Fair starts on Friday, which also happens to be RTV6 day at the fair.
Yeah, we're going to be live out there from the Indiana State Fairgrounds all day long, starting right here on Good Morning Indiana. RTV6 is bringing you unique stories from the people who make the Indiana State Fair possible, the farmers. And we're giving you a look at the innovative things that Indiana farmers are doing, so you can join us for all the fun on Friday right here at RTV6. And if you see us out there on the Midway, come say hi.
Yeah. Can you afford love? Well, a lot of millennials say they can't. The reason behind their reported loneliness ahead in our Trending 6.
Support fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Before you head out the door, it's time for the Trending 6.
And these are some of the stories that everyone is sharing online today that you'll want to know about.
The Indianapolis Zoo hopes to introduce visitors to its newest addition later this summer. The zoo is now home to 6 baby sloths from Panama. Many of them were orphaned at a very young age, according to the zoo. Right now, the sloths are being cared for in a behind-the-scenes area. The zoo opened a new sloth exhibit earlier this year.
They are so cute. Well, a nearly blind kayaker is taking on some serious rapids with the help of his son. 67-year-old Ed Riding is almost blind, and he says his vision just keeps getting worse. But he and his son still take an annual kayaking trip to Idaho. This year, they took on a wild Class 4 rapid with the help of waterproof two-way radios. The devices allow the pair to communicate so they don't get separated. They've also given Ed another reason not to slow down.
Wow. An Alaskan cop had an extremely close call with a pair of jaywalking moose. The mama moose trots out of the way after a trip, but the calf runs back to the other side. Traffic in the oncoming lanes was also forced to stop after the calf finally caught up with mama. Both were reported to be okay. Officials say Alaska has one of the highest rates of vehicle moose collisions in the world. Who would have known?
There you go. Well, things are getting pretty intense during last night's Pirates and Reds game. This was in Cincinnati. The Pirates dugout starts chirping at the Reds pitcher Amir Garrett, and when he's pulled from the game, Garrett walks over and this fight breaks out. This is the second time this season the two teams have brawled. Another fight started between the two teams in Pittsburgh back in April.
Space is not off limits as the backdrop of a future Fast and the Furious movie. A spin-off of the high adrenaline franchise titled Fast and the Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw hits theaters this Friday. But as far as future movies are concerned, screenwriter Chris Morgan says he's open to taking the story anywhere, including space. The only condition, he says, the storyline has to stay true to its original spirit.
Well, an old Beatles song, Can't Buy Me Love, and that's become a modern-day dilemma for many millennials, actually. Match.com says 30% of millennials feel that their financial situation is holding them back from pursuing a relationship. Basically, dating is just too expensive. That's partly because of many of them fighting the uphill battle financially, dealing with student debt and the rising living costs. And today, I would say if you want to take a cheap date, a nice walk or a bike ride, because we have perfect weather.
Yeah, that's very easy. That's one of my favorite things to do with my significant other. We go on a bike ride. It's free.
Yeah.
Today's, as you mentioned, perfect day for it. Low humidity, lots of sunshine, no excuse, whether you're going on a date or not to get outside and enjoy this weather. Maybe it's just for lunch, maybe it's for dinner, or yeah, maybe it's to exercise. Temperatures in the 60s here this morning, nice and comfortable. Radar is completely quiet. Not only are we in the 60s, but the humidity is nice and low, and that stays low throughout the entire day today. So mostly sunny, up to 83. It's going to be a great day for us here from start to finish. And as we look at your 7-day planning forecast and the nice weather, if you can't get outside today, well, it's going to continue here throughout much of the week. With the sunshine, temperatures go up a degree or two each and every day, eventually getting into the mid to upper 80s as we push into the weekend. The time now is 5:56. Stay with Good Morning Indiana. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.